Coffee time. Coffee time is the best time. Oh, and 3, and a 2, and a 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, May 26th, 2020. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. I could go back to bed. I slept well, and I slept, well, maybe I didn't sleep well. I slept a long time. I feel sore for my hike yesterday. Ended up being a little over 4 miles, all said and done, probably close to 5 miles. No, I think it was just 4. We didn't end up taking any side trails. But it was a beautiful day, and it was sunny, and it was warm, and for the most part, the wind kept the bugs away, and it was awesome. Oh. Frank says, I think the new internet is making a difference. Awesome. That's great. That is very good to know. What differences are you seeing? Is the picture quality better? I don't know. What do you see? The more justification I can have for keeping this very expensive internet package, the better. It's not very expensive. It's more than I think I should have to pay. So a lot of walking, a lot of water. It was just a really nice day. It was a good way to spend the day. Okay. Frank says less delay. Great. Awesome. Gabe says the audio quality seems better. Good. Good. You are more tightly tuned in with my home. That's great. What else we got? I got distracted. Yeah, so it was a good day. A lot of good food. A lot of walking. And my body's sore. Not like really sore, but just kind of all over between the movement and the sun. Just, I guess, needs more recovery. And I woke up super hard from a dream that I had to fight to remember any details of. You know that you wake up from a dream and you're like, oh, what happened? And you really dig in and you can pull out like some very vague memories. I was able to do that. Couldn't make any sense of it. But apparently I woke up in the middle of stuff going on. And I felt very, very sudden. So that was yesterday. Yesterday was Memorial Day, and I did some push-ups and made sure I spent some time thinking about some of my CrossFit friends doing Murph, and of course, the folks who have served, who sacrificed. Today's a new day. It's a different day, and most of us will be back at work in whatever capacity today, including me. I'll be back at my desk. I forgot to mention that we had an episode drop yesterday. Kwangjae-nim C.M. Griffin, an incredibly funny episode. I hope you check that one out. Hope you check them all out. But if you're somebody who picks and chooses, yesterday's episode, I thought as an interviewer, was really funny. Very enjoyable conversation with him. And guy's been around. He's done some stuff. He's got some great stories. So check that one out, 504. Now what's going on today? I think I have an interview today. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Because I don't look at my schedule before I do the show. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't change how I do the show. What do I have to do today? Well, it's kind of gloomy out. I'm assuming it's going to burn off at some point. We have some very hot weather coming. And I had hoped that I was going to be able to get plants in so they could take advantage of the sunshine. Because we have some evenings that are predicted to be below 40. I can't do below 40 because sometimes below 40 here it gets even colder. It means 35, 36. And a sustained evening of that can really put a damper on plants, depending on the plant. And the things that I have left to go outside. So I'm going to have to pot up some of these things, which I don't want to do, but I will. And those will sit out on the porch for a few days, and I'll pull them back in before those cold evenings. Silly plants. What else going on today? I don't know. Don't even remember. I haven't looked at a calendar really since Friday, which is nice. When I graduated college, I told myself, and I told everybody, I just wanted a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 job. I just wanted something really simple. Because in college, as you might imagine, I did everything. It was chaos. Yeah, I didn't do that. I came out, grabbed a retail job full time, and started my computer consulting business. Oh, and started a karate school. We say one thing, but our actions indicate what we really want to do. I really wanted karate school. I really wanted my own business. And I have that now. I don't have a karate school, but I have a martial arts, whatever whistlekick is, brand. And we've grown to the point where people watch me drink coffee in a bathrobe weekday mornings. It's ridiculous. Don't think I forget how ridiculous the premise of this show is. Anything else to report? I don't think so. Apple blossoms are coming in. Still have a huge field of dandelions. If you want to see, I took a few pictures from the hike yesterday. If you follow me personally on Instagram, at Jeremy Lesniak. That's not the kind of stuff I'm going to post on the whistlekick page. It's not martial arts related. And unlike some companies, I don't think it's right to turn it into your own personal... there are times where it's appropriate, but it's rarely appropriate to post personal things on a business page. It's just weird. People don't want to see my hiking adventures on the whistlekick page. They want to see martial arts stuff. Now, speaking of martial arts stuff, the thing that makes this a martial arts show is that you all write in and comment and give me stuff to talk about and respond to and answer. And the best way you do all that stuff is you put it below, and then I read it the next day. It's a wonderful system, well honed. Excuse me. Alright, well, we're going to have to come back to this because somebody's being rude to a past guest on one of our shows. I don't tolerate that. Alright. May is Older Americans Month. There's a lot of months. There's a lot of this is this month. I wonder if anybody's done a book or like a chart that's like really comprehensive. Here's a quote from Ann Landers. At age 20, we worry about what others think of us. At age 40, we don't care what they think of us. At age 60, we discover they haven't been thinking of us at all. It's I think one of my greatest struggles through my life has been processing and how to handle the way others perceive me. And what I've come to realize is that most of other people being mad at me or this person, Frank says there's a website he uses, holidayinsights.com. Cool. Most of what I perceive to be other people slighting me and such. It's not about me. It's about them. We're all the hero in our own story. Right? Our stories involve us, not other people. So, if that's the case, it's not about you. It's about them. For them, for you, it's about you. Think about how often you take action strictly because of someone else. Well, they might be a consequence. They're a supporting actor or actress in the movie that is your life. And so here I am. Oh. Excuse me. Here I am, just a couple weeks shy of 41. Yeah, my birthday's next month. And I'm finally realizing, I don't have to worry about this stuff. I do, and I'm trying not to, but I don't have to. That the voice in the back of my head that says, oh, they haven't written back yet, they're probably mad at you, is wrong. It's an ego-driven voice. Because the first and foremost thing in that person's mind is not me. It's 10,000 other things that they're facing, that they're dealing with, that are of far more importance than the text I sent them last week. And let's put it this way. If somebody's mad at you, do you really want someone in your life who gets mad at you and doesn't tell you? Who's going to play stupid games like that? It's self-selecting. Let that person select themselves for being discharged from your life. I've done that. I've done that quite a bit. I don't chase people to make them important in my life. The right people will meet you halfway. They don't meet you halfway, they're not the right people. And I wish I could go back 20, 30 years and help myself understand that. Because adults tell you that when you're a kid, right? They're like, well, if they're not willing to put in the work to be your friend, or, if that romantic interest isn't interested in you, it's a waste of time. It is. And maybe even consciously we understand that when we're younger, but I think it takes time to see it proven out time and time and time again. And we're left with what we're left with, which is the people around us that matter because they have selected themselves into your life. Yeah. Good advice from Ann Landers. I'm probably going to butcher this first name. Oh, we got 5 quotes today. Damn, Frank. Frank always makes sure I've got enough. Anouk Aimee. You can only perceive real beauty in a person as they get older. It's funny, when I look at the people I went to high school with, I mean, as you might imagine, there were some girls that were beautiful that I wanted to date, that I wanted to spend time with. And everybody loved them. They were popular. Some of them are not so attractive now because their physical looks have faded a bit and their personality kind of sucks. They didn't develop that personality. And then there are some people who grew into who they ultimately were inside, but now they're the whole package. I'd like to think I'm one of those people. And I'm thinking of a few other people that I think the world of from high school that I continue to think highly of because they continue to grow. And so that inner beauty, whoever they are, whoever they were, it's a lot easier to see now. We're not even close to fully developed in our teens. The, and then it takes time to build on that. One of my mentors had been telling me for a decade life starts at 40. And that's really hard to hear when you're 30 or 28. I think I started working with him at 27, 28. No, it was even earlier than that. Wow. But now, on the other side of turning 40, I get it. I don't know how to explain it, but he's right. And so as we get older, we get to see who people really are. They tell us who they are, but we start to believe them because we have enough context for life and who we are that we can understand what they're saying, what's behind the actions. From Samuel Ullman. Oh, Frank says, I tell the older ladies at work that they're like a fine wine, they improve with age. Absolutely. From Samuel Ullman. You are as young as your faith, as old as your doubt, as young as your self-confidence, as old as your fear, as young as your hope, as old as your despair. The way we treat our life, the way we show up when we get out of bed every single morning, that's how old we are. Do you go through life complaining about what was, what will never be, how the best days are behind you, how you can't accomplish X, Y, Z, how your body's failing you, etc.? If you do, you're old. I do not do that. I choose not to do that. I refuse to pretend that my best days are behind me. They're not. They're absolutely not. I continue to get better. I continue to get healthier. I can still hang. Put me in a class. I'll still hang with the teens and the 20-year-olds. I'll take most of them to task. Not just because I have experience, but mostly because I have experience. I reject the notion that we can't live vibrant lives as long as we want. Will the physical body break down eventually? Yes. But I'm not going to let that happen any sooner than it has to. People ask you, how old would you think you were if you didn't know? Well, other than the white in my beard, if I woke up one day with amnesia and just how I felt, I would assume I was between 25 and 30. And it's funny because most people assume that I'm somewhere around 30, if they don't know me. And I think some of those people are giving me the benefit of the doubt because I act like I'm 12 half the time. I like playing. I like being playful. On Sunday, I was playing with my niece. She's 3. We were running around and throwing the ball and being silly. And I don't spend a lot of time with her. So when I see her again, it takes her time to reacclimate to me. But once she does, I'm the person that she's going to. Because I'm the one that will play hide and seek with her and roll in the dirt and be a kid. And I think that that's the secret. Now, I don't know. I'm not, looking back on the entirety of my life. But I think play is important. I think martial arts can be play. And if martial arts isn't play for you, that's fine. But find something to play. Go to the store, buy some Legos. Grab, I don't know, sit down in front of a TV and some video games, play Xbox well into the night and eat junk food. I don't do that very often, but I never, but I could, right? Where's the child? Indulge the child. You are as young as your faith, as old as you. From Dorothea Kent. A man 90 years old was asked to what he attributed his longevity. I reckon, he said, with a twinkle in his eye, it's because most nights I went to bed and slept, when I should have sat up and worried. I had a conversation with someone yesterday about work and getting work done. And, I'll share with you our conversation because she's experiencing something now in her 20s that I experienced in my 20s that I wish someone had really explained to me. We come out of school and we're used to a very task-driven environment. You have this assignment, it is due on this date. If you do not get it done, there are severe consequences. And then we go to college, and quite often it's the exact same thing for those of us that go to college. But at some point you leave college, or you don't go to college, you leave high school, whatever, you get a job. Most people's jobs do not work that way. Most people have too much to do, and you have to find balance in there. I've got these 17 things to do. I'm not going to get them all done in the time frame that they should be done because there aren't hard deadlines on them, because they're not a report for my boss. They're things that need to get done. How do I prioritize them? How do I get them done? And then worse yet, when you're a creative person, maybe you own your own business, like me, you continue to find things that you could do, or maybe you even use the dreaded S word, should do, which I try not to use anymore. Should is a very self-judgmental word that I'm trying to take out of my vocabulary because it does not treat me well. But if those things are true, there's always more to do. There's always too much to do. So when do you decide to stop? And what I've learned is that it is a constant prioritization. Every day I have to look at what needs to get done and do the most important things and be okay with letting some of the other things go. Would it not be better for Whistlekick right now if we had 7 more programs under the umbrella? Not just strength and conditioning and speed. What if we had the next ones? Yeah, that'd be great. Haven't done them yet. Should I do them? You could say that. Do I have time to do them? If I choose not to sleep and not to find balance in my life, sure. But those programs require some amount of creativity, which requires me being rested and recharged and living a balanced life. So I'll get through some of these things that I have to get through, and I'll probably start on the next one maybe next week when it feels right. I haven't even finished launching the speed program. We don't have any ads out there for it yet. There's a lot of stuff that we haven't done for that. So in the case of this quote, instead of sitting up and worrying, instead of staying up late to get all that work done, which, yeah, sometimes you have to do that. But instead of that being the way you approach life, I thought there was a spider. Go to sleep. You're still going to have too much to do in the morning if you're going to look at it that way. Come Come on, you. And our our last quote for the day. Long lives aren't natural. We forget that senior citizens are as much an invention as toasters or penicillin. Douglas Coupland. Um, I don't know that I agree with that. I suppose you can look at it that way. What I think is more important than whether or not senior citizens are historically common. I mean, there's always going to be older people in any set, right? I mean, the only reason 40 isn't old now is because people live to be 80, 90, 100. I'm sure there was a time when 40 was old, where I would have been the elder. But what I wish we did in society, and I know some parts of the world they still do this, we do not do this in the US, is we valued the older people. I wish the wisdom and the stories, the advice had more importance in our society. And you see, this is part of martial arts radio. A lot of our guests are older, not because we intend to have older guests, but when we look around at who has accomplished and has great stories and who we want on the show, there's a healthy mix of people in their 60s, 70s, 80s. Unfortunately, we lost somebody else who was on our list in the last couple of weeks. Skipper Mullins passed away. Every time we lose somebody that's on the interview list, somebody that we've been trying to get, it really makes me sad. Maybe a little bit selfishly, because I wanted to bring this person to the show, but mostly as a martial artist, because that person now will not share their stories in this format that I objectively believe is the best format in which to capture their time. It's authentic, it's in their voice. I think it's better than autobiography, which is it's sanitized and edited. But to have an hour hearing from someone about their time as a martial artist, it's a pretty good way to document that time. And you hear throughout these episodes, regardless of age, there's advice that comes through. Sometimes it's explicit, sometimes it's implied. But I think over the last 5 years, still can't believe it's been 5 years. When we think over the last 5 years, the amount of growth that I've had personally, I'd say the number one place it's come from is talking to those guests on the show. It's been a very transformative experience for me. Frank says, my sister told me every time an older person dies, it's like a library burned down. Yes, that is. There was a time when children were raised by their grandparents, not exclusively, but where it was far more common. And I think that makes a lot of sense. Because how many people, I mean, let's take a step back. Who is likely to be better off raising a small child? Someone who's done it, has someone who helped their parents do it, or someone who's never done it themselves? Someone who has lived an extra 20, 30 years and knows more about the world and how it works, or somebody who's younger? My mother raised me, but I was very lucky to have some older women in their 60s, who lived in the area, who, I cut their grass and did stuff for them, but they taught me so much. If we were to go back and consider value exchange, I owe them a huge amount of money. They've both passed away. I am who I am because of Nancy and Dorothy. They are. If I made a list of the top 5 people who influenced my upbringing, they're on the list. And now we've broken 30 minutes, and that's a hard line for me. So we're gonna wind down here. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. If you have a question or if you have a comment, I want you to drop it below so I can answer it tomorrow. If you're new to the show, please subscribe, turn on notifications. We do the show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern here on YouTube. Yes, you can catch the audio later. If you are interested in martial arts radio or all the other things we do, go to whistlekick.com, sign up for the newsletter. If you make a purchase, use the code FIRSTCUP15. And if you want to support us elsewhere,
Yeah.
otherwise, patreon.com, patreon.com/whistlekick. Excuse me, and we give you more content over there and exclusive access to stuff behind the scenes. So, thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Peace.